The third mistake that employers and startups in California often make that can be very costly is treating an employee as an intern and not paying him or her any wages. Under California law, there are 6 factors, 6 requirements that must be satisfied before you can call someone lawfully an intern and not pay them any compensation. And I included a link to the page with that list below this video in the description section. This is a very useful checklist for any employer who wants to make sure that they properly classify their workers as interns versus employees. And this list is also useful for any intern who suspects that he might be misclassified and he might be owed wages. Now, the interesting part is that 2 of these 6 requirements are violated more often than others, and they lead to the vast majority of misclassification claims out there. And ironically, 2 of these requirements go hand in hand. In other words, they're violated at the same time. The first requirement of the 2 is that the intern's job duties should be directly related to his vocational goals or his educational goals. And the second requirement is that the intern should not be used to replace another worker that the company would have to hire. Again, these are the 2 requirements that are commonly violated by employers and lead to misclassification, where the employer believes that the person is properly classified as an intern, but in reality, under the law, that person should be an employee and they should be properly compensated. So let's talk about a common scenario where these 2 factors can be violated and lead to a misclassification. Let's say you have an employer, a company who is an investment firm or an accounting firm or some other financial institution. And let's say they bring a college student to use him as an intern, someone who studies business administration or accounting. And they have him do the following things in the office: filing documents, organizing documents, and answering phones, and also greeting clients who walk into the office. So it's easy to see here how both of the requirements that I mentioned are violated here. And if that intern finds out one day that he was misclassified, he can go to the labor board or to court, file a claim, and seek compensation for all the hours that he spent in the office and didn't get paid for. Now, let's see why these requirements are violated. Well, first of all, he's doing things that do not advance his educational or vocational goals. He's not learning anything by organizing documents and answering phones. He's not learning anything that would be meaningful to what he studies at school, in college. And the second requirement is also violated because he's replacing an office assistant or an administrative assistant, and he also replaces the receptionist because he's answering phones and he's greeting clients. Now, how can this situation and this misclassification be avoided? Well, to make sure you don't violate the first factor I mentioned, make sure that the intern spends the majority of the time or the entire time doing something where he learns something relevant to his area of study. Have him sit at your important meetings. Have him help you prepare presentations for your clients. Have him review or research different issues that are relevant to your business but are also relevant to what he's studying. Have him review certain things for errors. This is the type of meaningful work that would make it look like an internship. And to make sure you don't violate the second requirement, make sure he's not replacing a receptionist and he's not replacing an office assistant or an administrative assistant. Make sure that the intern does not spend too much time filing documents, organizing documents, stapling papers, going and bringing coffee to other employees or doing other things that have nothing to do to what he studies in college and don't add anything to his educational or vocational goals. Thank you.